What is going on, boys? It's Luigi here, and I'm very excited to bring this for you guys. So this is our very first YouTube series on the channel. We were going to have a few different series. This is the first of them. Breaking the Ice is what we're calling it. We are playing Freljord to Challenger, boys. All of them. What roles? Which champions? All of them. We're doing all of them live over at twitch.tv. It's _Luigi, and we're going to be posting videos weekly. So, what are we doing? We're breaking down the matchups. We're main champions that we're playing: Anivia, Trundle, a lot of Lissandra, a lot of Ashe. It doesn't matter what role you play, boys. If you want to learn something specific about these Freljord champions, this is the place to be. This matchup, our first game that we're going through, we are going to take a couple of different approaches with this as well. I wanted to do the first one as a VOD review. I know that this is a really good game, and I think that this can illustrate some really good points and some things to take away when playing Anivia against Cat specifically, as well as some general things. Anivia versus Cat, jungle matchup, Xin versus Nidalee. Both important things to consider when looking at this game. Alrighty, you can see that we've got the Corrupting Potion star, and you'll also see our runes come up on the screen in a second. So you'll see something interesting with them. I do run these runes all the time. It's inspired by a Korean Anivia one trick from who is Grandmaster at the moment, I believe. It's an interesting setup. Something that's important to note is that in the current meta for mid, bot prio and pressuring bot lane a lot is extremely important and very powerful in the game, which just gives Predator a lot of inherent value. That's why we're running it here. The attack speed runes, a little questionable, I know, but I can explain, boys. Okay, so we're running an attack speed rune. As you guys may or may not know, depending on if you play Anivia, her attack speed is an absolute hot mess. It is by far one of the longest and worst animations in the game. And it was even buffed like a few years ago, and it's still an absolute disaster. So the attack speed rune itself helps early game with farming on a turret, harassing melee matchups like Cat, pushing waves, because Anivia really struggles with pushing waves early on in the game. And those are just a few things that it's good for. The Alacrity rune itself is really good for getting in a side lane and split pushing, also for the aforementioned reasons as well. So that's kind of a brief explanation as to why we've chosen the runes. And Corrupting Potion is just very, very efficient early on in Anivia. You run out of mana very early. Since you're running the attack speed into a melee matchup, getting that extra tick of burn damage when you're autoing them down, getting the attack speed off is very, very useful as well. And it also slides in nicely if you pick up an early Dark Seal or something like that. So, we're versing Cat. Let's kick it off. I am a little nervous about the length of what this video is going to be. I will try and speed it up through the boring points, but I think it is really important that how we actually play the lane and how we manage the wave in the early parts of the game, because you're going to see that we play the wave to our advantage to actually get an edge in the matchup. This is not an easy matchup, boys. This is a little tough, but I'm going to show you how you can pull it out. Okay, so let's watch the early wave, and then we'll skip it through mid-game a little bit. So you see me early on. I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to pause the video already, but I'm going to pause it a fair bit. This is obviously one of the disadvantages to going through a VOD. I'm going to want to stop the video all the time, please. Okay. We'll do some live ones as well. Let me know what you prefer. Okay. What am I doing here? So a very common mistake that people will do in range versus melee matchups where you are the weaker person in the matchup. Cat has a lot of kill pressure on you early with her daggers, level 1 and level 2 specifically, and level 3 through to 5, she's actually very powerful as well. What we want to do in this matchup, I've identified that, okay, Xin versus Nidalee, it's a very snowbally matchup. Whoever gets the early ganks off is gonna snowball through that role, and we lose the 1v1. So as a result, if Nid and Xin is kind of a 50-50 matchup, and we're losing mid, that means by default, basic maths, 1 + 1 is 7. So we lose the mid matchup, 2v2, Xin and Anivia versus Cat and Nidalee. What does this mean? You need to be able to identify this early, because what it means is that you can choose what you want to do with the wave. Early on, we want the wave to push to us, and we want to freeze it outside of our turret. We can harass Cat by pulling the wave in that manner, to get early harass off. And it also means that we can't get ganked. We're not going to get caught in 2v2 situations because we're going to ping our jungler back when he wants to come if we don't know where the jungler is. We can't die 1v1 in the matchup, and we also can't get ganked. So that's kind of my logic as to what I want to do with the wave. How does that tie into what we're doing here? We are not autoing cat that much, because what happens if we auto cat here in this early wave, and she just farms with Q, by default, because we're autoing cat, her minions are actually going to focus us, which means our minions are hitting theirs, and the wave is going to push towards her, making us very vulnerable to ganks, meaning that we can die 1v1 and get in all those scenarios that we just identified we don't want to be in. Understood? We get it, boys? I hope I'm explaining myself okay. Again, leave some feedback in the comments. I'm talking very fast. I don't want the video to be too long. Let's get stuck back into it. That's what I'm thinking, all right? That's what I'm thinking. Don't forget it. Just looking to land Q, get the minions as well. I do miss a couple of minions. I was a little greedy because I wanted to land the Q on her. You can go either way. If you hit her, you're still not going to take minion aggro because it's not a single target spell. You only draw minion aggro from single target spells or auto attacks. So it is probably better in retrospect to go for the minions there, but that's fine. Again, just harassing with Q. I land the Q, getting one auto, that's fine. Because you're standing back away from the wave, you're not going to take minion aggro and have the wave pushing towards her. So you can see that because of my couple of Qs that I was farming with, the wave was pushing to her slightly. We do get level 2 at the same time. I land a nice Q, land an E off. Okay. The lane is still pushing towards her. She has 4. I have 4 minions. It's going to push towards her slightly just because of how that skirmish went. It is a little bit of luck involved in that. And like I mentioned as well, because we land some early Qs on her, it did by default because of the splash damage push the wave a little bit. We are at risk of dying here, boys. We are. This wave is not looking good. We have a couple of options here. We use all of our corrupting potions because what we want to do, you can see that we've got 2 or 3 running there. We want to be as close to full HP as possible. If you identify that the wave management is not going to how you planned, or you're running low against a matchup where you know that they have kill pressure, try and stay as close to full HP as possible. Don't be too greedy with the pots. All right. Let's see what we do next. So, very important in the matchup, stay away from Cat's passive. The daggers on the ground, do not go near them. The splash damage is broken. Please nerf Cat. That hitbox is just broken. Okay. We see our jungler. We don't have mid prio, so we ping missing. We don't move to the fight. We identified early that we don't win 2v2, so we're just staying mid. Just ping the jungler. The wave is in the middle. Yep, in that scenario, it's probably not worth moving just because you're going to lose a 2v2 anyway. Zing gets a nice gank off, but okay, junglers out there. This matchup, if you're the Zin here, you need to make sure that you're checking when the next minion wave is coming in against Katarina. This is so crucial, and I say it in the stream as well. Underneath this cam, is that when you're ganking Katarina, you need to check where your minion wave is. So down here, you need to be watching this part of the minimap because where your wave is, it's mirrored on the other side as well. So if you check, okay, you can see this minion wave here is between the 2 turrets up here for top lane, right? That same thing applies on their side of the map. The minions always mirror each other. They come in at the same time. It's just where they crash in the actual lane that differs. So if you're Zin here, you know that my mid wave, so our mid wave, blue side, is coming past the turret now. So Cat's just going to eat of the wave. So just an important note there as well. Get back into it. So wave is pushing to her. There's 2 things that we can do. So we're running the attack speed on Anivia so that we can crash waves a little bit faster. But I know that I cannot crash this wave in time. And I don't really want to be using my stun. I'm just going to pause it here because we're about to get into some action. I'm not using my Q to push the wave. It's basically the only tool that we have outside of our auto attack. Because if we throw the Q, we are going to be at the mercy of cooldown trading. So this is a very basic concept that is, while basic, extremely important and can win you games or lose you games in itself. So Anivia's main ability is her Q. It gives you bonus damage on your E. If you miss this thing, it's pretty doomed, boys. Okay, you don't want to be throwing it out when you don't have to, or it's a guaranteed hit. If we throw it out here when the wave is already in a bad spot for us, we are at risk of dying 1v1, 2v2, getting ganked. We can't just throw it out willy-nilly to push the wave, especially when I know, or we know, that we can't crash this wave yet. So what I'm doing is I'm slow pushing it. I am autoing the minions more than just last hitting because I want to crash the wave on the next wave. If you can stack a minion wave, it becomes a lot easier to crash the wave, and also means you don't have to use your crucial ability like your Q to try and get this wave in. So let's see what happens here. So she goes in on me. We'll land a nice Q, and then we flash for the auto. So there is a good example of where the attack speed runes can be pretty powerful. If we didn't have them, we might not have got the kill there. Cat could have flashed away. So on and so forth. Okay, what do we do here? Let's have a look at the wave. More minions, 3, 6, 8 versus 3, 6, 7, and some of ours are low. So this wave is going to push to us. This is exactly what we want. We've got the kill. Some people will make the mistake and try and crash this wave. We do not want to crash the wave here, boys. It's coming to us. It's in a great spot. We've got teleport advantage. We want to maintain this freeze. So you just want to be checking to make sure that they always have at least 2 more caster minions than you. And the wave is going to slowly push back to you. And what you can do is use your body to hold it off the turret. Our goal here, to repeat, is to hold the freeze. Do not try and get this wave to crash. This is exactly what we wanted from second one of the game. All right. So you can see, still holding this freeze. Barely autoing. I'm not recalling yet either as well, because I know that I have TP and our waves are pushing in as well, so I'm not really too concerned about getting a teleport gank off in the side lanes at the moment. We could have recalled a little bit earlier as well. I was a little nervous that it was going to crash into the turret, but we just TP back here and we pick up all the minions. Sin comes in for a gank. It's really good. And this is exactly why, boys, why a freeze is so good. Not only does it stop all the things that we mentioned before, stops us dying 2v2, 1v1, whatever, it also means that your jungler can come and gank them. They're in the scenario that we don't want to be in. This is the power of wave management and identifying your win cons very early on from the moment that you load into the game. Okay? Spend the time when you're loading into load screen to think about the jungle matchup, your mid matchup as well. What do you want to do with the wave early on? Don't use that time to just go watch porn or have a coffee or a tea or whatever people do these days, all right? Have a really good think about what you're doing, what you want to achieve. How do you beat this hard matchup? Anivia has some hard matchups, but a lot of them are winnable, okay? So, back into it, boys. And we get a nice kill. Again, the attack speed runes coming into play there. The cooldowns are so long early that the attack speed is actually very beneficial. And again, if you like with all your abilities, then you still got the autos as a backup. So if you're bad, like me, throw an attack speed rune in there. Give it a try. You'll like it. Cool. Still trying to maintain this freeze. My W was on Smartcast. Play it without it on Smartcast is my recommendation. The range indicator is a little strange. It can be a little bit hard to get used to, but it is entirely personal preference. Just making sure we pick up all these under the tower. Yeah, good job. Get that one. I probably could have used Q on that, buddy. So just go for a zoning Q there. Because we whiff that, she can go in on her passive there. Something really strong in this matchup is that you can just hold on to Q basically eternally and just wait for her passive to go on the ground. And when you think that she's going to walk up to it, when you see them posturing for it, or maybe they want a cannon minion, you can just throw your Q out then. So my Q there was pretty bad. Okay. So now I'm starting to think of, okay, waves are bouncing back in the side lanes. So you can see here that bot, top, they're starting to be a lot more even. Earlier when we were talking about it, they were actually pushed up to their turret. And we are running the Predator setup. We know that we want to gank bot a lot. We want to play through bot lane. Bot lane wins games. All mid laners, please hear this. I play bot as well. Just gank bot. You'll win the game. I promise. I promise. So I'm starting to think, okay, now I'm 6. I can push waves a lot easier. This matchup is still pretty bad even though we got a kill. We've got no stats. We just got defensive stats because Anivia needs mana. Start with your catalyst. Build into the roller. Yeah, so now I'm starting to think about bot lane. What am I going to do with this wave? I've got ult now. I can just start pushing waves and roaming. And once I pick up boots with Predator, you'll actually see that that's exactly what I do. Alrighty. So we moved to Scuttle first as well. So this is something that we were thinking about as well. We saw that Scuttle was coming up. Our jungler was playing bot side. It's important that we get at least a small amount of priority. I didn't use my ult on the wave to actually crash the wave before this fight because I was a little concerned about mana. You do have to be very careful. Yes, you can push the waves, but it uses a lot of mana without blue. And I had a feeling that a skirmish would be coming up. So that's why I decided to conserve mana. But you can see because we were playing on the right side of the lane and because we were pushing the wave in a little bit and we got to move first and now we're here for this skirmish. So let's see what happens. So we go for a wall, land the wall. She jumps over and they get a blast plant. Remove blast plants from the game. They're broken, okay? That was my kill. Right. Oh, good. We're in the right place at the right time. I was a little annoyed at the time, like I lose my push, but I come back and I get all the minions. That's fine. It was a little bit of a waste of time, but it was still a good lane control play from us to be there for the scuttle. We do secure the scuttle crab. Unfortunately, we didn't get the kills. It's all good. Heads up. Cool. So how much gold am I sitting on here? I'm sitting at 850. I can buy a blasting one to build up towards my roller. So I'm happy to push the wave here. What do I do? Running pretty low on mana. I see them fighting. I start moving first. I'm thinking, can I get to fight? Do I need to be there? Or do I just sit in river and make sure Cat can't get to that fight? Because we all know what happens when Cat gets a gank off bot, boys. It's not good. It's really not good. So I'm just making sure that I'm going to be the first one to these fights. I don't mind that I'm 20 mana. I've got attack speed runes. I will auto you to death. The burb will auto attack you. So I see that their bot lane's roaming up here. I hide in a fog. I land the Q, wall them off, get the kill on the Lulu. Being here first. Cat's still mid. Where is she? She's nowhere to be seen. Nowhere. She's gone. And then I look for the kill. I'm getting pretty bloodthirsty here. And because we're running the Presence of Mind rune, you can see this is the power. We were running low on mana. We still made it to the skirmish. And because we got the kills, we've actually got our mana back again. We can actually go back to lane. Instead of having to recall and reset, and we don't have enough gold for roller yet, nearly, we can just come back to the lane and reset. Just picking these up. Trying to land the zoning Q on her because I know she wants to eat those minions. E ult. Support is coming. I try to wall her off. And there's the minion wave play again. Sorry, not Pantheon is in. Now I'm running low on mana. I've got enough for Roa here. It's very important that you crash this wave. If Cat is smart, and a lot of people do know about wave management these days, like it's not a lot of new concepts. A lot of it is just repetition. And we'll be going over a lot on the channel and on the stream as well. It is just really repetitive, and you probably hear it from a lot of people as well. It's not a lot of new news, but you can just see how important or how much influence it's had on the game. And so in this particular scenario, we need the jungler to crash this wave for us. If she tries to pull this wave and freezes off a turret, that's really bad for us because it ties back in. Okay, what do we think about at the start? We do not want the wave in front of their turret. We want it in front of ours. So if she can pull the freeze in this situation and we can't crash the wave, that is very, very bad for us. And just to reiterate as well, crashing the wave means a wave reset almost entirely. It'll be about a 95% reset. There's a smaller percentage of like RNG where the wave won't reset entirely into the middle of the lane, but it'll still be in a pretty good position. So to achieve that, just to repeat, you've got to crash the wave into the turret, then get your recall off. All right, let's go, boys. Mid lane's a really good Q. I try and wall her off to cancel a jump. That is something you can do. I do mistime it a little bit. Pantheon comes in, and then we're just auto-attacking with the attack speed runes. Bam, bam. The power. I'm passing my knowledge on to you, boys. Don't put it to waste. Give it a shot. We get our recall off. We've got roller in base. The wave crashed. We're good to go. We'll fast forward out of base. I pick up my roller. I pick up my predator boots as well. This is where it starts getting pretty hot. Don't look away. Okay, we coming in the wave. I just pick up the CS. Cool. Crashing the wave. Thinking about bot. Thinking about where can I go. I got some wards. I got a pink. I got a sweeper. I'm set. So important as well to note, because we're playing around bot lane, it is pretty ideal around this like 10-minute mark, 9-minute mark to pick up a sweeper. We're not really going to be playing in the lane. We're playing towards bot. If you can pick up the wards that support, or just making sure that there is no wards even, if you're not clearing them, on your way to bot lane, this is really important as well. Let's see what I do with this pink. Do I place him? So I'm looking for the dive here. Where have the wave crashed? Someone tells me that there's a pink in there. I'm a little salty. I go and clear it out. I place my pink deep. This is a good pink, boys. Give it a shot. This will give you a lot of information when their blue is respawning, when they're going to Gromp. It's a very common gang path for bot. And as we identified earlier, we're playing through bot. We want bot to win. We don't want them to get ganked by the enemy jungler. That would be really bad. Okay, we're trying to skirmish here. Doing our best. We get hit by a long-range spear. And we land the stun. And she goes boom. Goodbye, cat. Burb greater than cat. Basic wildlife fact. Just thinking about it. I'm taunting her here. I know that I have egg. We can play a little bit risky. Some people would just forgo using their brain cells. So they might just see Burb and want to kill Burb. So feel free to, if you're in a strong position, we've got the item advantage. We had team support as well. You can play. You can kind of be a bit of a bait. It is an effective play. Just try not to grief you. Pick up the next wave as well. No point roaming here when there's 6 minions worth of XP and gold. And we can crash them when we know cat just recall. We can deny this whole wave. This whole wave will probably die. I checked the side lanes. No one's on the minimap. Nothing's on. So I'm going for the turret plating. And look at this attack speed rune, bro. This is Alacrity. Do we get a plating? We didn't stay in range for the plating gold. Oh, we still get the plating anyway. Thank God. I was a little nervous about Nid. She's not actually on the map. If you can't see the jungler, it's always better to just play that a little bit safer. Losing the plating gold can be sad. So I Q her. She goes in on me. We pop the egg, land the E. And I believe she dies. Nope. So we're skirmishing a little bit here. I'm playing it pretty safe. Just trying to stay out of their range while getting my abilities off. So see, this is pretty winnable. I land a double Q, land the E, land the ult, wall the MF off, flash away, and the last tick of the ult gets the kill. Not too bad. Pretty good. I'm pretty comfortable with my positioning here just because I am pretty fed. I got roll, I got a lot of gold in the bank. I had blue buff. And Anivia against these really low mobility ADCs and supports is actually a very good matchup. Like, they really do struggle to stay in auto attack range once the slow is dropped, the wall is dropped. It's a lot of disruption for them to deal with. And I did actually lose to their bot lane in the game previously, so I was a little pissed off and I really wanted to kill them. So we did that. Get wrecked, please. Let's fast forward to database. Sorry, I'm talking a lot here. We'll start zooming through it. So we pick up a wave, we clear another ward. And we see that bot is pushed up. Mistake. You're against Predator Burb. I'm coming in hot. I pop the NOS. I don't have the NOS yet, actually. 6 seconds. Pantheon ults in. This is a really good ult. We'll try and land the wall off on both of them. And then we preemptively cast the Q when we know she's going to pass. She actually flashes into it. I try and get the E off, but the Lulu shield actually saves her. And Pantheon Q snipes her away. Very good from him. Very well played from him. Well played from us. Good roam overall. Main reason it was effective is because they were pushing the wave. We've got the setup, and you can see the power of the attack speed runes coming in once again. Running theme here. Running theme. So we do get hit by a long range spear. I'll be honest, I don't know what I was doing here. I knew that they were coming, but I thought we could win this. I was mistaken. That spear was very good. Definitely in retrospect, should have been backing up or playing a bit further towards the right side of the lane. And we do actually win the skirmish, which is really good. So a bit fortunate that our team did some work there. Retrospectively, we should either be backing up completely because we misidentified that we could win that, or at least be playing to the right side of the lane so we don't get hit by the spear. Sin's going crazy, madman. And we TP here. I see it. You want blood? I want blood. And they actually end up winning it anyway, but I get a free kill. It's fine. And then we're already here. We spent the resource. We spent our TP to show up into this lane. We get a kill. This is turret time. We don't need to reset and go mid. We wasted our TP to get here. We need to make sure that it's worth it. We get the turret. We pick up the wave. And we're moving on. What are we thinking about next? Okay, mid's kind of sitting in the middle. We can get deep vision in their jungle now that we've taken bot turret. Blue buff is up. I want the blue buff. Let's clear some vision. Let's go back mid. Crash the mid turret. Crash mid wave. Pick this up. Wall Anivia off there. And cool, you can see the high tempo play that Predator actually really enables, and just this kind of bot-centric play style is very, very powerful. And you'll see how we snowball this as well. Pick up a Drake. Okay. This is from getting mid prio, playing around bot. So we're pretty strong now, and this is where we can start thinking a little bit bigger. So can we go for a turret dive? Pantheon can block turret damage. So I'm like, okay, this is not a bad idea. I'll follow you up, brother. I'll be there for you. And next objective, we've already got our bot lane set up mid. Katarina has very bad wave clear. This is why the mid siege is really strong. And attack speed, Burb, go. Watch. Where is the turret? It's effective. Okay. We're skirmishing a little bit, kind of doing a little bit of an ARAM. Not really worth. I'm thinking I would want to try and get some turret damage here because we are so strong. You can just I can just wall off their backline and just like land a free Q and potentially get a free kill. In this situation, we should probably start thinking we want to get in the bot lane. We're not achieving much here. After that initial siege, if you don't really get anything off it, it's probably time to start thinking about other things. We'll land the wall off from the MF. Like we said, she can't do anything about it. Just land a free kill on her. Just trying to kite back here, using ult to zone them out. Aurelia does go on us. She lands a really good stun there, actually. Very well played from her. And we do lose our egg and die. So retrospectively, what should we have been done in this situation? We shouldn't have been in this siege, honestly. We shouldn't even be going for second tier turret. There's 3 minions down here. The wave's not pushed up. We can actually safely go for these minions. And yeah. Get in the bot lane. Silly Luigi. Cool. Looking to skirmish. Wall the Katarina off. She gets a jump off. That's fine. Can see that bot lane, their enemy bot lane is pushing in. So now I'm thinking, okay, what can we get top? They got resources bot. What are they doing? We can get top tier 2. I've also got a pink ward here. I'm thinking I want to catch someone on the rotation because there's a wave there. Someone wants this wave. This is what I'm thinking. And Katarina does definitely come, land the E auto. She gets the jump off. I try and get the auto. We don't get the kill. It's unfortunate, but now we get a free top turret. Cool. Hopefully we don't make the same mistake here on over siege. But we do still outnumber them. And they're in base. So we do have like a small window where we can actually hit this. They dive. I didn't like this play. And Pantheon actually ults backwards. E's backwards. Not the play, brother. Not the play. So they go in on us. I flash away, expecting the flash. Wall the cat away. Please stay away from me. And she stays away from me. Very good. And we land the Q predictor, or well, we don't predict it, but we time the Zhonya's nicely, land that Q. Again, this is not the best play. Like the dive was obviously really bad. I felt like the siege was okay in this situation, and we actually land the Q as Katarina is jumping in on her passive there, on her dagger. Landing some good Qs. I try and wall her off. As we identified earlier, it's another win con. We can just wall off the ADC. What are they going to do? You can do it on Lulu as well. And we do actually end up getting the inhibitor. It was a bit messy, but I'm pretty confident that actually staying for this turret was good. The dive, not so much, but being here is fine. We have such a large gold lead. A lot of this game is us just closing it out, and you can kind of see my decision-making process. Like, where is their resources? What are the waves doing? What can we get when they're messing up? Oh, we missed some action there. Let's go back a little bit. See how we play the team fight. Okay. So coming to another skirmish, we've got top inhibitor, mid inhibitor is open, bot wave is pushed out. So why do we, okay, before we get into this fight, why are we positioning around here? So the main reason is top is open, okay? Top inhibitors, or just inhibitor minions at 19 minutes into the game are very, very hard to kill, especially with a team with very little wave clear. They have Aurelia mid, Nidalee, Katarina, MF, Lulu. Not much wave clear at all. If you open up an inhibitor on the other side of the map, instead of going mid, is actually a much bigger and a better play to start focusing the lane that is the furthest away from that inhibitor. Why is that? Because they're going to need to spend so much time clearing those minions. It's going to take them a very long time to rotate from that top inhibitor that is down, clearing those minions, and rotate down to the bot wave, which you're now, or the bot lane that you're now pressuring. It's much easier for them to rotate mid, right? If a fight breaks out here and someone's clearing the top wave, you can see Aurelia is doing that. She's not going to make it to this fight, so we can actually potentially force a 4v5. Again, trying to get that kind of chess thinking going. What are you doing 1, 2, 3 steps ahead? Let's have a look. So we land a Q on the MF. I wall her off. She can't do anything. She's actually bashing my head in a little bit, I'll be honest. But we land another nice long range Q. I see the Katarina stagger there, so I'm kind of kiting back. I put my ult down on it, and then I E the blue buff. How do you delete something out of a video? How do I do that? That was a disgrace. I did toggle champion only on. It still went on the blue buff. I don't know what happened there. I'll be honest, please. Cool. Pick up the dragon. I'm thinking Baron. Can we do anything around Baron? Aurelia's bot. Half their team's dead. Got TP. No. Okay, we just push the mid wave. But that's where I'm starting to think. Okay, well, now we want to play around Baron. Or we can go bot again as well. So we pick up the Medjais. Bit confident, Luigi. But respect. Okay, speed it up. As you can see, we're going bot lane again. Same logic as before. This is like a really good play for us to make if we can get this bot inhibitor down as well. Like second fold. Another reason this is a good play is because top inhibitor is down. If we get bot inhibitor down, while bot inhibitor is easy to get because top was already down, once you get bot, that opens up the Baron play by the same logic. It's really far away from bot lane. Bot lane is always the best inhibitor to get if you can get it. So we win another skirmish, and this is like pretty much just a stomp from here on. You can see all the tempo from some of the early plays. I'll just scroll through this, and they actually dropped the forfeit. So there it is, boys. That's the first review. A little bit wordy, a little bit fast-paced. I am going to try the other style as well, where we actually do live commentary. I am pretty happy with this game, and I hope that this helps you specifically with the cat matchup, as well as some overarching Anivia and macro gameplay. Hope this helps out. Definitely try out the Predator and the attack speed. You guys will like it a lot. I love it. It is very good. Play around bot. Bot is broken. Buff bot lane XP. All right, Luigi out. It's my first video, please.